We've all been there. You're standing in a museum staring at a painting and all you can think is, I don't get it. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it. I'm Amanda, the host of the Art of History podcast, where we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. Each episode, we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar pieces. Check out Art of History now wherever you get your podcasts.
Culture Kids, thank you for joining us today as we dive into our episode 5. My name is Kristen and I am your host along with my 5-year-old son Asher. Last week, we discovered what a pupusa is and some unique facts about the beautiful country El Salvador. We hope you got a chance to check out our Instagram page at Culture Kids Podcast for some photos of pupusas and beautiful black sand beaches. Today, as a special request from our listener Nicholas from all the way in Brooklyn, New York, we're going to learn about a fascinating man-made structure from China. This strong and mighty structure is known to be the longest man-made structure in the world, one that spans over 13,000 miles. Now, just so you have an idea, that's almost half the size of the length of the equator. Wow. Remember that equator is an imaginary line around the middle of our planet Earth. So this is a pretty long structure. Asher, can you tell us what structure this is?
Great Wall of China!
Yeah, there is so much to learn about this most recognized symbol of China, but let's understand how and why it was built.
Great Wall of China was built over thousands of years. It was built to protect the Chinese from enemies.
This actually leads me to introduce our word of the week, which is dynasty.
What is a dynasty?
Great question. A dynasty is when one family ruled a country or region over a long period of time.
Like a king.
Or in this case, an emperor. It's important to note that the Great Wall of China is not just one wall, but a series of walls built by dynasties over hundreds of years. In the 5th century BC, China was divided into many kingdoms, which is what we call the Warring States period. Asher, do you want to try saying the Warring States period?
The Warring States period.
Very good. So an emperor named Qin Shi Huang, also known as the first emperor, unified China as one, which we called the Qin dynasty. He ordered that all the different walls that were built under all the different states be joined into a single structure that would protect a unified China against its enemies.
And then dynasty after dynasty, the wall was rebuilt and made longer and longer. Great Wall of China was made out of lots of different materials, depending on when and where.
Some of the sections of the wall were built with earth, lime, sand, and stone, while other sections were built using branches or clay. The materials used really depended on when it was built.
So different dynasties built the wall with different materials. It depended on the local conditions.
Precisely. Do you want to know what my favorite fact about the Great Wall of China is?
Yes.
In some parts of the wall, Asher, sticky rice was used to build sections of the wall.
Rice? Rice that you eat?
Yeah. So using sticky rice as a building material was an important discovery of what we call the Ming Dynasty. We call it sticky rice mortar, and it is made from a mixture of slaked lime, which is a standard ingredient in mortar, and sweet rice flour. This helped the wall and other structures during the Ming Dynasty survive even earthquakes. Now that's a fun fact.
Can you walk on the Great Wall of China? How long would it take?
Well, yes, Great Wall of China gets tons of visitors every year. You can walk on some parts of the wall that are safe. But are you ready for this crazy fact?
Yes!
To make it from one end to the other, it would take a person about a year and a half to walk the wall.
Oh my my goodness! A year and a half?
Yes, but unfortunately, most of the Great Wall sections built before the Ming Dynasty have almost disappeared. Only the sections built during the Ming Dynasty are still in decent condition today.
Great Wall of China is not just a wall. It has towers, windows, gates, and forts.
Yes, very cool, because the wall was originally made for protection. It was used as a defense system for the military.
Is it true that astronauts could see the Great Wall of China from the moon?
Now, I've heard this one before when I was little too, but according to astronauts and scientists, this is not true.
Why not?
Well, Alan Bean, an astronaut, quoted, "The only thing you can see from the moon is a beautiful sphere, mostly white, some blue, and patches of yellow, and every once in a while some green vegetation. No man-made object is ever visible at this scale." End quote. Do you also want to know a cool fact about China? There are several hundreds of languages spoken in this country. Can you guess which is the one that is spoken the most? Now, this is a language that Asher learns a little bit from school.
Mandarin.
That's correct. The second most widely spoken language in China is Cantonese. So I always like to ask any new friends from China that we meet for the first time which language they can speak. Do you want to share any Mandarin words that you remember from school, Asher?
Ni hao, which means hello.
Very cool. Well, let's end our episode with some jokes as we always do. Would you like to go first, Asher?
You go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I am.
I am who?
You don't even know who you are? Okay, your turn.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Don't cry, it's just a joke.
That's a Halloween joke. Well, that's all we have for today. Nicholas, thank you so much for sharing what you're curious about, and we really hope you enjoyed learning about the Great Wall of China. Make sure to hit subscribe and let us know what you want to learn about next by leaving us a review. You can also go on our Instagram page to see some cool photos of everything we learned today at Culture Kids Podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode as we dive into one of the most mysterious, fascinating artists of all time. Can you guess who this might be?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Thanks for listening, friends. 再见, and that means see you again in Mandarin.
再见.